How does it feel to play the game all by yourself? It's a fascinating question, one that many people are thinking about right now as they're wondering whether their corporate career is going to last. This is a very interesting time in our history. A lot of people are contemplating a solopreneur kind of career, how to live your life, how dramatically different it is, how to weave together new priorities, a new strategy for managing through your day, and how to make it all work in the relatively short term so you can make a decent living. Learning how to do that is key. Our guest today is named Bruce Arendt. He's done a wonderful job so far. He just left his job 3 or 4 months ago. Bruce Arendt, thank you so much for joining us here on NxBizSuccess.
Thank you, Lynn.
You bet. You know, you left your job as a corporate editor of home design books and publications and so on, and you catapulted into a brand new career. I'm so envious of you and your willingness to follow your bliss as a children's book illustrator.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm excited about it myself.
And you're doing, and your passion shows, and it's really making a big difference.
Yeah.
Tell us, how is your life different these days than it was, say, 6 months ago?
I always thought, you know, when someone was self-employed, or they might work at home in their pajamas or something like that.
Yes.
You always hear people joke about that.
Yeah.
That's something that's
I don't think it's just a joke, by the way. I think it really does happen.
No, I still get up and I go to work every morning. One of the things that was most important to me was to be able to maintain a separate workplace, a place to go.
Okay.
And I had an office in downtown Omaha with my other job, and I have maintained that office. I've kept that office so that I can get up and go downtown and get on that elevator and go to my office and feel like I'm really going to work, which I really am.
Absolutely. So you're managing your environment carefully.
Right.
And you're actually kind of preserving some degree of continuity from your previous life.
That's exactly right. I didn't want something to be so off-kilter that I couldn't focus on.
Relate to it.
Right, right. I mean, I was used to an environment where I could concentrate and think and produce, and I've tried to maintain that so that it wouldn't be
because you're a classic cultural creative. You're a knowledge worker.
Right.
You think stuff up and put it on paper and then sell it to publishers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's quite an interesting way to live one's life. Now, you happen to be in the children's book publishing industry.
Right.
That means you do a lot of whimsical illustrations. In fact, I'm going to show one if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
You're quite an accomplished artist, and here we have a beautiful tongue-in-cheek illustration of a dragon. Is that correct?
That's right.
And he's flossing his considerable teeth, right, in front of a mirror, and there's a knight's helmet on the floor next to him, right next to his tail. And the title of this illustration is "Floss Every Night."
Right. I play on the word night. So.
So all of a sudden, I mean, people are watching this saying, "This guy is an outrage. He makes a living with puns and cartoons."
What could be more fun?
What could be more fun? Now, let me, as I put this illustration away, let me ask this question: do you have to put yourself in the mood to come up with this stuff? I mean, do you live a life of pure whimsy and juvenile amusement every day?
You know, there are certain aspects of that are true. I feel like if I can make myself laugh at something that I'm drawing at, that I'm succeeding, because if somebody else might laugh too. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of discipline to that too, because you don't always have that artistic spark. You don't always feel like it, and it takes you a little bit of time to get the juices flowing. But you just have to sit down and do it. And I find for myself, once I make myself do it.
Yes.
Start, and this could apply to anything anybody was doing.
Sure.
You just have to get force yourself into the groove, and it'll catch.
Yeah. So once there's a little bit of psychological inertia or resistance, you just force yourself through that, and eventually you start to get engaged with, with the process. Now, I love this. And I want to know, how does your whole day go, and what are the things you've learned in this really vivid period where you're out there doing this new thing? I mean, do you call your agent every day? Is there something you do at a certain time, or are you still finding your rhythm?
I talked with my agent pretty much every day. That's pretty consistent, because we're together. We're strategizing my launch. I'm basically walking out on the edge of a diving board, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there's a number of steps. There's of what we're doing in terms of website development and product promotional development.
Yeah.
All of the research that she's doing, things she's finding out about different publishers that she's going to be promoting me to. We're just getting everything ready for a launch that'll be coming right up.
Now, you know, I have to say, I kind of envy you in a way, because you've got the energy of somebody else that you can talk to on the phone, and you sense their desire to have you do well and so on. And that can really sustain you on some of those days where you feel maybe a little bit lonely, or what am I doing here? Or am I ever going to make any money off this particular illustration?
Right.
Do you go through that?
I have. In fact, I've only had about 1.5 bad days, I should say, since I lost my job. And those were the days that I did not keep myself busy on the drawing board. That's been, for me, that's been the key. That's probably been what's kept me sane and off of the ledge, so to speak. I haven't been panicked about the fact that I lost my job because I know that I'm working toward an end goal. I have something that I want to accomplish.
And are those goals or benchmarks, are they relatively short term? Like, you know, I got to finish 2 illustrations in the next 10 days and then bill for it? Or is it more like I'm going to be a more longer term kind of destiny type things going on?
There's both, really, because my end goal is to get on board with some of the major publishers out there of children's books. But to get to that point, you've got to work on this piece and then the next piece and do this or that, or even just mundane research sometimes of some of the art that you want to create. You have to look and see, well, how do you really draw this or that? So you do some research. I mean, it's not all on the drawing board, but I try to make a point every day throughout the day to be doing something that gets me toward that goal. Whether or not I'm actually physically drawing, but it's something that is actually contributing to that end.
Like research or whatever.
Exactly.
So you're sitting in an office by yourself 7-8 hours a day.
At least.
You might have a call from an agent, maybe longer, as many entrepreneurs put in very, very long hours. And then you pack up your books or your briefcase or whatever and head home around 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And so you're really living your life like a corporate guy, but you are by yourself.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I go within my own world, I guess, so to speak. The time goes very, very quickly.
Does it?
Oh yeah, once I'm in the groove.
Because you're in the zone.
I'm in the zone, yeah.
And you know, I know there's a lot of people, they work in cubicles, they work at offices, and do you know what they're saying right now? They're saying, I wonder how I can feel like I'm in the zone, you know, as a worker, increasing my level of engagement, just enjoying what I'm doing. Do you think they'll ever achieve that degree of engagement that you enjoy 6-7 hours a day while you're into your illustration of the dragon flossing his teeth?
Well, I think the honest answer to that is you have to, the core of that has to be your passion. I mean, if you can have a passion for what you're doing, that takes you most of the way there.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've always loved, always wanted to do. And you know, if I was doing something I didn't enjoy and didn't have a passion for it, I don't know that I'd be able to force myself, you know,
day after day.
Exactly.
With a certain degree of indecision and uncertainty about your future.
Exactly. But I believe I can do this, and I love what I'm doing, and I'm having more fun than I've ever had.
Well, Bruce Arrett, I so appreciate you being candid. It's such a fresh interview because we're all interested in that first 3 to 6 months when somebody jumps off that diving board, to use the metaphor that you shared with us. It's an exciting thing. We're going to keep abreast of your progress as a freelance illustrator in the children's publishing and book industry. Good job. My name is Lynn Hiderocker. This is NxBizSuccess. What an exciting opportunity. If you're interested in being a freelancer, going solo, this kind of instructional tip sheet, so to speak, will help guide you through those critical steps so you truly can succeed. Thanks for tuning in to NxBizSuccess. Keep on growing and keep on going.